Hello, YouTube divers. This is Water Dive 122, and I want to welcome you all to another episode of Magic Metal Mondays. Today, we are going to be counting down the 8 studio albums from Dutch symphonic metal crew Within Temptation. So, this is a band that I wanted to do for quite a while. I was basically just looking for a band to reignite my love and passion for symphonic metal, the kind of love and passion that Nightwish gave me. And Within Temptation is another one of the better bands in the genre. And so, yeah, listen to all 8 of their albums, and I can safely say that they absolutely live up to the hype as being one of the best bands in symphonic metal. And that's primarily thanks to their amazing lead singer, Sharon Den Adele, who is, without question, one of the best female metal vocalists I've ever heard, right up there with Tarja Turunen as we speak. More on that in a bit. But yeah, Within Temptation, a very small discography for a smaller discography more than what I was expecting. But here we go. We got 8 albums to talk about, so let's get into it. Coming in at number 8, not really a surprise here. We got the 2019 album Resist. I think this is the general consensus pick to being the band's worst album, and for good reason. Because, man oh man, is this album heavily overproduced. There's way too much things happening at one time, and the songwriting isn't strong enough, in my opinion, to back it up. There are not a lot of great tracks on this album. The fewest, I would say, out of any of their records, honestly. But there are a few like nuggets of brilliance sprinkled throughout the album. You have Supernova, which I think is a pretty interesting track. Mercy Mirror is a nice one. Firelight featuring Jasper Steverlink from Arid, a Belgian band. I think it's pretty good. And Raise Your Banner featuring Anders Frieden of In Flames. I think that's a really nice blend of like their classic symphonic metal sound combined with their 80s influences that they've had on the previous few records, as well as the melodic death metal spices of In Flames. It's something that Anders Frieden brings to the table. I think it's a pretty cool track. And then my favorite song, if I had to choose a favorite, it would probably be Holy Ground. I like the melody on here, and I like the overall heavy vibes and atmospheres. But overall, Resist just feels like a very artificial album. It doesn't feel like a Within Temptation album at all, in my opinion. So overall, Resist, probably a record that I won't be returning to anytime soon. Coming in at number 7 rather, we have the 1997 album Enter. This is the band's debut album, and yeah, this is a pretty mid album, if you ask me. My biggest issue with this album is the production. The production on this record is absolutely atrocious, or at least the drum mix. If Resist didn't happen, I would easily say that Enter is their worst sounding album. The drums literally just sound like a bunch of toms, and then the snare just sounds like a rim throughout the entire cut. It could get very irritating, but Sharon delivers a great vocal performance on here. The riffs are really raw and juicy. And the growls by Sharon's husband and one of their 2 guitar players, Robert Westerholt, not really vibing on here. But yeah, there are a few good tracks like Restless. The opening track is a really nice cut, very nice atmosphere. Deep Within has some cool moments, as does Pearls of Light. Candles is probably the most well-known track on the album, and fans rock with it. That's cool. I think it's okay. Grace is another one of those very atmospheric cuts from this album, but my favorite song on the album has to go to the title track, Enter. Enter is a very a very atmospheric, like symphonic gothic track, if you wanna put it that way. I think it does the best out of capturing the gothic and dirty and murky atmosphere across this album. But yeah, overall, Enter, it's an okay debut, but personally, they've made way better records. So with that said, Enter comes in here at number 7. Number 6, we got the 2014 album Hydra. So this album, I like to give it the nickname Collaborations, the album. Why, you may ask? Because almost half of these songs on this album are have collaborations with different vocalists, which is a great thing to see. Don't get me wrong. And there are a lot of great collaborations around the album. My favorites of which have to go to The Whole World Is Watching, which features David Perner of Soul Asylum. You have And We Run, featuring the rap hip hop artist Exhibit, which I will just say right off the bat, I think Exhibit segments are okay, but Sharon easily steals the show with those hooky melodies and those and just that wonderful, wonderful music that complements her voice. But my favorite out of the collaborations and my favorite song on the record in general goes to Paradise, What About Us, which features Tarha Turunen from formerly of Nightwish, and I will say Sharon and Tarha sound amazing together. Like, it is just ridiculous. They do have very different vocal styles, as we know that Tarha has mainly a more classically trained voice, and Sharon's is more rock heavy. But yeah, I think their voices blend very well together. And then as for the songs that don't feature any collaborations, my favorites from those would have to be Silver Moonlight, Tell Me Why, a cool little mini epic of theirs, Covered by Roses, the opening track Let Us Burn, and yeah, overall Hydra, a very good album, but they made better. So let's move on. Number 5, we've got their most recent album, 2023's Bleed Out. So I will just go on record to say that if you like very modern gent or progressive metal or very heavy guitars, this is the album for you. Bleed Out is without question their most darkest and heaviest album to date. And this is definitely apparent in two of my favorite tracks on the album, which are Cyanide Love and the title track Bleed Out, which is my favorite song on the album. Both of which are among the heaviest songs that I have ever heard. It is just ridiculous. Super heavy and murky riffs. I love it. Then you have other songs like The Purge, Entertain You, Wireless, and the opening track We Go to War, which are very reminiscent of some of their early stuff, but also combine the heavier and darker undertones across the rest of this album. But yeah, coming off of Resist, I think Bleed Out was a very nice change and a very interesting direction for this band, and I hope on future records they continue to build on this sound, because I think that this could be something really special. So with that said, Bleed Out comes in here at number 5. Number 4, we've got the 2004 album, The Silent Force. This is the band's third studio album, and definitely among one of their most popular records, as it features two of their most popular songs, Stand My Ground and Angels, both of which are freaking amazing songs. Then you have Memories, which is a very nice cut, Pale, and then Jillian, See Who I Am, and then my favorite song on the album has to go to the amazing ballad that is Somewhere. You're going to notice a trend with these next few picks. Usually my favorite songs will be the ballads, or at least one of the ballads, anywho, but I think that just goes to show just how amazing this band is at writing super lush and super emotional ballads. And I think Somewhere is definitely one of the best examples of that. Yeah, so Silent Force comes in here at number 4. I love this album. Coming in at number 3, we have the 2011 album, The Unforgiving. You can literally copy and paste everything that I said about the Silent Force and apply it here. I literally have pretty much the same things to say about The Unforgiving as I do with the Silent Force. I love these records equally. But I chose The Unforgiving just above Silent Force, mainly just because I think it has some more tracks that I do enjoy. Tracks like Faster, Where's the Edge, Sinead, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, sorry if I'm not. The closing track, Stairway to the Skies, Fire and Ice, the amazingly heavy cut In the Middle of the Night, Shot in the Dark, and then my favorite song has to be, again, another ballad, Lost. Honestly, this is one of the band's best songs. This is a very lush and emotional ballad. It very much reminds me of Forever by Ed Guy off of their Hellfire Club album, in terms of being very cinematic and just very lush and very emotional. I love songs like this. So yeah, with that said, The Unforgiving comes in here at number 3. Now we got number 2 with the 2007 album, The Heart of Everything. Again, like with The Silent Force, I feel like this is another one of the band's most popular albums. And it features another bunch of their standout tracks, most notably with The Howling and Our Solemn Hour, What Have You Done, What Have You Done, which features Keith Caputo of Life of Agony. So there's that, and that song in particular is one of their best collaboration songs, if you ask me. Sharon and Keith's voice just go together so well. It's like peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, you have Our Solemn Hour, Hand of Sorrow, The Cross, the aforementioned What Have You Done, and The Howling, the amazing mini epic Truth Beneath the Rose, which is one of my favorite songs of theirs that is a little bit more on the longer side. And then my favorite track on the album has to go to, you guessed it, another ballad, Forgiven. This closes off the album, and my goodness, this is such an amazing song. Sharon delivers an amazing vocal performance throughout here, and in my opinion, this is one of her most emotional and most dynamic vocal performances that she's ever put on a Within Temptation song, if you ask me. I love this song. Yeah, The Heart of Everything overall feels very lush and very genuine. It's an amazing album. But yeah, we're going to get to number 1 right now. So yeah, with that said, The Heart of Everything comes in here at number 2. And so now we have finally reached it. Number 1. Process of elimination. If you're a Within Temptation fan, you know what album is left. And that is the 2000 album, Mother Earth. I mean, come on now. Mother Earth is arguably their most popular album for a reason. This is where the band peaked. Songwriting-wise, production-wise, singing-wise, this easily has Sharon Denadell's best vocal performance, if you ask me. Like, her range just completely expands and goes off on this album. It is absolutely amazing just how much they improved from Enter, their debut album, up to this point. There are so many amazing tracks on here. You have amazing ballads like Our Farewell, one of the band's most popular songs, In Perfect Harmony, which probably has Sharon's most emotional vocal performance. Forgiven and Lost might be the other competitors, but yeah, you listen to it on any given day and it might make you cry. It is that much of an emotional song, especially in that chorus. And then you have some really interesting cuts like Deceiver of Fools, which has a really interesting chorus. And again, Sharon Denadell basically shows off her absolutely immaculate vocals on here. Dark Wings is another very fun cut. The title track, Mother Earth, opens up this album with a very dark but yet beautiful a beautiful note, if I say so myself. But my favorite song on the album, and as of right now, my favorite song from Within Temptation overall, that is Ice Queen. I mean, come on. This is arguably the band's most popular song for a reason. This has, in my opinion, Sharon's best vocal performance overall, the band's best melodies overall, and the best music that they've written, if you ask me. Yeah, Ice Queen will get your blood pumping, and you're in for a great time. overall, Mother Earth, a masterpiece of an album, one of the best symphonic metal albums of all time. And, yeah. So with that said, Mother Earth comes in here at number 1. So with that said, that concludes this edition of Magic Metal Mondays. Thank you so much for watching, my fellow YouTube divers. This is WaterDive122 signing out, ready to dive into more fun on YouTube. Thanks for watching.